Hey guys, this is Dennis, the founder of Think Hero.
And I'm David Griffin, your resident comic book and video game guru.
And we just got back from Comic-Con, and obviously the biggest news of this Comic-Con is WB's announcement of the Batman versus Superman movie. Yes. As for Man of Steel 2, that's what it's going to be instead of just a Superman story.
Right, and we haven't, the studio hasn't confirmed yet what the title is going to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, the speculation at first was maybe Batman versus Superman, but I think a lot of people think, because Christopher Nolan's kind of, even though he's behind the production of it, so he's kind of subtle, you know, with his title, so maybe it might just be Batman and Superman. It won't be like Batman versus Superman, kind of like Freddy versus Jason, that kind of a little corny. I don't know.
But at the same time, though, as a business move, I think it's a good idea because that's right there. Batman versus Superman. The casual fan will know exactly what it is. When you start getting into the whole, like, you know, Man of Steel, Dark Knight, it's a little
too much.
Yeah.
Too much.
So what did you think of the news? I mean, it's pretty big news.
It's big news. I wonder if Cavill knew about it because people were interviewing him while Man of Steel was just getting ready to premiere, asking, like, what do you think about a Justice League movie? Mm-hmm. He's like, and he even admitted, he's like, I don't think we're there yet. And then somebody said, what about a Batman Superman movie? He's like, you know what, that would be a good idea. So maybe he was hearing buzz about it. And I think Justice League is going to be hard. DC, it's a little bit too late to follow Marvel's plan. They're not going to be able to introduce a character, one here, one there. But with this Batman vs. Superman movie, it might allow people to kind of just ease their way in. Now, I'm going to get to something later here that might link to some other DC characters that could come out of this storyline, potential story for Batman Superman 2. But I think one thing what we had to talk about, what made me think of this, was who's going to play Batman.
Well,
that was the thing that I was thinking of. Who's going to play Batman?
Yeah, that's kind of the big thing.
Like, who's next?
Yeah, because after Christian Bale in Nolan's universe, you know, and I know like lots and lots of people think that Christian Bale's going to come back.
No, he said he's done. He has stated he's done.
Yeah, not only is he done, he said he's done playing any type of like superhero, comic book type of role. Yeah. So, yeah, that's not going to happen. Yeah. Who do you want? Who do you think it would be a good person?
A couple people on my list. One, a lot of people have been talking about too, and I think I agree with, would be maybe, I like Luke Evans. Mm-hmm. British guy who's in Immortals. He's just recently in Fast and Furious 6 as the villain. I think he's good. He's not like what maybe you would call classically handsome, maybe like the best, but I like, because Christian Bale isn't either. Christian Bale's kind of, I mean, he's got a little ruggedness. He's a good looking guy, but he's a little rugged looking. I like Batman a little rugged. Mm-hmm. I like that about Luke Evans. I love Ryan Gosling as an actor. I don't know how good of a Batman he would be. Maybe to bulk up a little bit. He could do that. I mean, he's got range, but I don't see him as Bruce. I don't know.
He's a really good actor. I think the problem is his voice. I mean, he has this kind of high voice. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously when he's Batman, he can disguise it, but even as Bruce, it just seems a little bit off to me.
And to kind of maybe segue into your picks, I know you and I both were thinking maybe Karl Urban.
Yeah, Karl Urban I think would be great. We saw him in Dredd, you know, and
Star Trek.
Star Trek. He's I think he'd be a great Bruce Wayne and Batman. You know, he kind of has a grittier look.
Yeah.
And I think that could work. I don't know, even if you guys seen when he was in Red.
Yeah.
He was in Red, and he was also in Bourne. What was the second Bourne movie?
Oh yeah, he was in Bourne Supremacy?
Yeah,
Bourne Supremacy. He was the hitman.
Yeah,
he was good. Played a Russian guy.
Yeah, he had like this evil look to him. Batman's not evil, but he definitely has a dark edge.
He can do dark. Yeah.
One of my picks too is I think Guy Pearce would be great.
He is a good actor.
I think originally he was supposed to be in the original one.
Right.
I think maybe when Aronofsky was supposed to direct it.
Yeah.
I think he's a phenomenal actor. I think he can pull off the Bruce Wayne and the Batman. I don't know how old he is now.
Yeah, I think that's the other thing. A lot of people were suggesting Jon Hamm. I think Jon Hamm's a great actor. He's got the dark hair, got the dark look a little bit, but I think he's not old, but I think in the 40s is like I kind of maybe thinking more of a guy who's in his 30s, kind of like, you know, Henry Cavill is late 20s, early 30s, maybe mid 30s, but yeah, I think with Guy Pearce and Jon Hamm, maybe the age, I don't know. They're not old, but...
The thing with Jon Hamm, though, is he kind of fits more Clark Kent Superman, and we already got a Clark Kent Superman, you know?
Yeah, clean cut.
Definitely Bruce Wayne, he's got... I don't know about Batman, but Bruce Wayne, I think he's got it down, you know?
Right. I think some people want to see an older Batman because a lot of people have been thinking that this movie might be linked to Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns, and maybe if they did Christian Bale, they could do that story, but with a younger one, I don't know if they're going to do it. And I have another idea with that because that story is when they're both older. Yeah. Superman's older in that story. Batman's much older in that story. I think they're going to try to start young.
They are because of, you know, Henry Cavill's young, and so they're not going to have like too old, And also then they want to continue on to Justice League and more Batman movies. They don't want to recast.
Right.
I mean, the reason why everyone thinks of Dark Knight Returns is because they had Henry Lennox come out during the panel, and Zack Snyder brought him out, and he read the quote from Dark Knight Returns, about Batman beating Superman.
And Frank Miller, that's supposed to be like Christopher Nolan got most of his stuff for Dark Knight from Frank Miller.
Frank Miller, I remember like The Long Halloween.
Right, Jeff Loeb, yeah.
So, yeah.
So I was gonna say this is a little bit of my hypothesis here, my little theory going on here. So there's supposed to be this Easter egg, possibly. No one's confirmed this. In Man of Steel, where when Superman Clark is walking through his old ship, that ship that's like I don't know how many thousands of years old. And they see the empty cryo tube. Rumor is maybe that could be Supergirl.
Yes.
Now, there is a Supergirl storyline in one of the first 2 volumes of the Superman Batman series from DC Comics a few years back. Michael Turner did the art. Jeff Loeb did the story for that. And maybe we could do a Batman, Superman, Supergirl storyline, which would be cool. Like they don't, and then in that storyline, Wonder Woman shows up. Now, I'm just going kind of geeky fanboy here, going all off. But I'm thinking maybe they could just introduce, not do maybe Justice League, but introduce a few more, especially get the Trinity, at least get Wonder Woman on screen, even if it's a cameo.
Yeah.
Just get her on there.
I'm thinking more like in her not Wonder Woman outfit,
right,
you know what I mean?
Right,
kind of like I think they should introduce Lex Luthor into the movie, but he's not going to be the villain. He'll just be introduced.
Right.
Because the way I think they're going to set it up is that Batman is kind of, not the villain, but he's kind of the antagonist to Superman in this movie. And then I'm sure at the end they'll be buddies.
Which is going to be interesting to see because Superman, and I know you and I didn't have a problem with it. Some Superman, I know purists had an issue with how dark he was in Man of Steel. And he was maybe darker than we've seen him. Of course, there are tons of dark stories where Superman's dark in comic books. Like he kills people. He has killed before. So I wonder like how dark they're going to make Bruce then. Because this Man of Steel is hopeful, but he's still darker than most Supermen. So like how dark is Batman going to be? I'm curious to see like who this Batman's going to be like.
I don't know. It depends. They may go more action hero route. They're going to do, like a more darker, brooding type of guy. Who knows? But I mean, I'm excited for it. I thought that they should have done a Batman movie first, just to get people comfortable with whoever the new Batman is, before they did either a Batman versus Superman or a Justice League movie. That was my personal opinion. But this is still good. This, that means that, WB is happy. They obviously were waiting to see the returns on Man of Steel. And since box office-wise it did phenomenal, they decided to put the go-ahead. Because I know if Man of Steel did not do well, trust me, we would not be hearing about no Batman versus Superman movie.
That'd be a little too out there. But the only thing I'm a little hesitant about, a little bit worried, is that Goyer, now Snyder, is going to be co-writing the story. Not the screenplay, but the co-writing the story. And last time I've seen something that Snyder wrote, that was Sucker Punch. That was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. So visually beautiful. Snyder's got the visuals down. Visually beautiful, but there's no substance to that story. So I'm hoping that Nolan is there guiding. I hope Goyer knows how to tell beginning, middle, and end. I hope they can, and I hope they slow down this time. That's another thing I have on here is what can Snyder and Goyer do maybe a little differently. I was gonna say I hope that they can slow the story down and not try to rush and just go. Like breathe, let the story breathe a little bit.
Yeah, Man of Steel was definitely like
just punch you. Yeah,
there's no breathing room in that at all. That was one of my biggest complaints as well. Like they didn't let things breathe, especially the past stuff. But yeah, I think it's good news, and I'm excited. Was it 2015? That's not that far away.
It's not bad. No, it's 2 years. We can wait till 2 years, summer now. Yeah, I'm ready.
2015 is going to be a crazy.
That's going to be crazy.
What is it like?
That's Avengers 2.
Avengers 2, Star Wars, Episode 7.
Wow.
And now Superman versus Batman.
That's going to be a huge summer.
I think there's a bunch of other stuff as well.
Yeah, that's going to be a huge summer. I'm excited. I'm getting pumped.
All right, guys. So let us know what you thought of the news of Batman versus Superman, and also who you think should play Batman. Any of the actors that we said or other ones. You can post your comments below on the website and on this YouTube video. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. That's Think Hero Pro. And you can also follow us on Twitter. Mine's @ThinkHero.
And I'm at GriffinDE.
And we also have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans.